To the show Sports and Hip Hop with DJ Mad Max. I want to welcome the very talented Allyn from
Yes.
Sacramento and actually relocated in Los Angeles.
hmm
Congratulations on the new project, Overthinking.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
How you feeling about it?
Um, Really good. It's such a blessing, and I'm loving that people are excited about it. And yeah, I'm feeling really good about it though.
Who was someone that surprised you that reached out to you after listening to the project and told you that this was good?
Um, wow. I can't even think of it. So many people I can't even think. Honestly, it's just anybody who reaches out is always like special. Honestly, because I'm still new to the game. So anytime someone's like, "Oh, I like your music," it just warms my heart.
I remember looking back on one of your Instagram posts when you posted, I believe, the visual for Lonely. 24K Golden liked it, actually. Have you been in talks with him at all?
Oh no, I didn't even know he liked
Yeah.
it.
Yes. See, you learn something every day. Yeah, I saw that he liked it because I follow him. He's been on the show. And I was just wondering if he linked up with you or if you were in talks at all. But no, but
No, he just showed love. Shout out to him.
yeah, social media it's crazy. You would never think that all these people have eyes on you and that's how the game is. When did you first start social media?
I didn't even have like MySpace or Facebook in high school because in Sacramento it was just like so small. Like everybody kind of knew each other, so I didn't feel the need for social media. So I didn't really even get on Instagram until 2014, 2015. That was like my freshman, sophomore year of college. I was like, yeah, I guess I'll try the Instagram thing now.
When did you start building this fan base that you have now?
Like 2018, 2019.
2018
Mm-hmm.
with the release of All You Need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was your first one, and your first song was Down, I believe.
Yeah, that was my first song straight out of college.
Mm-hmm. I
I
want to
was,
get into your life of growing up in Sacramento. How was that experience?
um, it was like the best of both worlds. Like I could be in the hood and then I could go be in the orchestra. You know what I'm saying? Like I had good grades and I was a good kid, but I was outside. You know what I mean? Like I was definitely outside as a kid. But I say like growing up in Sacramento just taught me the game and kind of gave me my confidence of who I am.
And as a child, you actually were taking part in getting involved with symphonies and orchestras.
hmm I was the youngest and one of the only females, one of the only people of color in the orchestra symphony. I was in the adult Sacramento Youth Orchestra, or no, I said that all the way wrong. I was the only person in the adult symphony, and then I was always the youngest in like the youth orchestra symphonies, and then I sang in church and everything too. So I was kind of like always keeping myself busy with music.
Do you feel as though that church that probably gives you an edge as far as an R&B singer? And in this day and age, if you think about it, it's not even relied upon as much anymore because you can make it off of an auto tune track nowadays.
Yeah, but it definitely gave me like the sense of how to arrange music, how to harmonize, because we do all that kind of thing in the choir. So it's like stuff like that you kind of have to experience. So even with auto tune and all that kind of stuff, it enhances your voice. But if you don't know how to arrange it, it's not going to be, you know, the best record it could be. So
And we have you here today on the show to talk about the new EP that just dropped. We want to remind people who are just tuning in right now. Congratulations on that. As I said before, the temporary failing's crazy.
yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah. And then on your way from being in the orchestras, the symphonies, you start moving on, you go to college, you eventually go to college and you get a degree in music industry studies.
hmm Yeah, I'm got my degree, my bachelor's. I'm currently at USC right now, getting my master's in
Oh, wow.
entertainment law. And I kind of just wanted to be able to educate myself on everything regarding the industry and business and just making sure that I know what's going on. And then eventually I want to be able to help other artists and other women that want to get into the business and be able to consult them.
Have you thought of even teaching other people around you about the business since now that you have the knowledge about it?
Yeah, anytime me and my like artist friends or just anybody that wants to have a contract or people ask me to read it over, so I'll be trying to practice.
But an important part of your life was interning at Harvey Mason Media.
hmm Yeah, when I was interning, it was Harvey Mason and Damon Thomas at the Underdog Studio. That's kind of where I met like all these writers, producers, artists. Like I was meeting
Ice
everybody.
Cube.
hmm I remember one time they were recording the soundtrack for Straight Outta Compton. I met Ice Cube, and it was just like crazy. Like this is my first time really being in LA, and I'm fresh out of high school. I'm like, wow, all these people, and I'm just here. This is
Tyrese
crazy.
was there too, I heard.
Yeah, he was. He definitely was there. I met him too.
Did you get to get into an important discussion with him? Because both R&B singers, it's something you could learn something from him, as him being a vital piece of the game in
Yeah.
R&B.
At that point in my life, though, I was 17, and I really didn't know what to do. I didn't even know how to write a song, so I was probably too shy to bring up that I did music. I was really shy. So it's like when I did start doing music, everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, you had all this talent and didn't tell us." And I was like, "Yeah,
But your parents support you. Those are your biggest supporters. You don't have
yeah,
much support besides that outside, maybe some friends and people that follow you on Instagram. You're generating that fan base, but this is all the work you put in yourself as far as music goes.
hmm yeah." I didn't have no famous friends or
No.
no man to put me on, so I had to had to do it on my own. So it's a blessing that I'm here.
What's an important advice that you can give to people as far as though when you're moving in that way, when you have no one to put you on, you have just no direction to go in, and you're just relying on yourself? Because I feel as though people may want to back out of that because they think it's so hard, but in the end, it's the greater reward because you don't owe anybody anything.
Yeah. My advice would just be to keep going, and you just gotta really look at yourself in the mirror every day and be like, is this what you want? Because sometimes people do it for the wrong reasons, like for money or for followers or whatever. And it's like, if all that was taken away, would you still want to do it? So that would be my advice: is make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, and it'll all work out.
And that's important, especially in the clout chase scenario that we have here. I think it's a rare time to see someone make it on their own because everyone's all clinging to how they can chase the clout. And I think the reward is in people like you who doesn't use anybody and just gets in on their own based off of talent.
hmm Absolutely.
Originally, it was interesting when I was doing my research on you. You actually wanted to be a rapper at first.
Yeah, I do.
You did.
Because in Sacramento, it's like everybody want to rap, and we have that like similar culture to the Bay Area because we're right there,
Yeah.
and we grew up listening to rap and all that kind of thing. So all my friends growing up, we used to bang the pencils and bang our hands on the table. We freestyle, and I wanted to rap, but my bars wasn't that tight, so I started to singer.
Have you thought about revisiting and doing anything in rap at all?
uh,
You're just gonna stick to singing.
Yeah, I was sick to singing. I might, throw in a little bar here and there, but you ain't gonna really catch me like really rapping though. But maybe one day
Yeah.
I work on my bars a little bit.
You've had the chance to collaborate with many rappers, including Mozzy, Casey Veggies. I believe you met Casey Veggies at a listening party, which was YG's listening party.
I met him at YG's listening party a few years ago, and that's when I first was rapping "All You Need," and he was super dope. And I was like, "Yo, get on the track with me." He was like, "Yeah." So it was dope. It was real organic. I definitely appreciate Casey. That was one of the first like LA rappers to really like do something with me.
Yeah. That's amazing. And also, when you were on the radio, that's how you caught Mozzy's attention because you name dropped him while you're on the radio station. I believe well, this is in Sacramento. Was this the Sacramento radio station? Yeah, the number one radio station in Sacramento. And you name drop Mozzy, and all of a sudden he DMs you and you link up for the track.
Yeah, yeah. It was dope, and shout out to Mozzy. Like, we put in Sacramento on, so I'm happy that we did that. And we definitely got some more stuff on the way too.
Nipsey Hussle was someone that you would have loved to collaborate with.
Yeah, yeah. Rest in peace to Nip. But
Mhm.
I wish I could have collaborated with him. But you know, uh, yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. What did you admire most about his message in music?
Um, I really studied him for
Mhm.
real, and I studied the way he moved in his business, how he treated people. Just he was like really a boss, and everything that he stood for, like he just had morals. He didn't let like the rap shit just take him to who he wasn't. Like he always stood on who he was. So there's so many things I admire about Nipsey. So it's like I definitely, when I want inspiration, I go listen to Nipsey.
Yeah, he's an important one to look at as well as other people. People say that he was the second Tupac.
Yeah, they do say that. I think he's all the above. He's all the above.
Is he on your
Nipsey,
top five of all time?
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Being from California for sure, because I grew up listening to Nipsey. I've been listening to him since I was in high school. So definitely in like my top five for sure.
Dropped classic mixtapes. The Marathon, Victory Lap was an amazing album. How did you
Mhm.
feel when he passed and everyone just jumped on the bandwagon and acted like a Nipsey Hussle? This is basically a repercussion of the social media era where everyone thinks that they're a fan right away just to get some sort of clout on social media.
Right. When I heard that he passed, I was with a group of friends and we all were just like, there's no way, because we didn't think it was like a real thing. I would have never thought. And, you know, it was like a moment where like time stopped.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, like even not personally knowing this person, it affected everybody. So that just shows how impactful he was and his message and who he was.
But getting back to your internship, people around you they wanted to see what talent that you had. Eventually they kept telling you come back, which you could learn, that you learned how to songwrite, and then people were like, oh, you could songwrite, so they wanted you to come back and do some songwriting for them, and eventually you were able to play the keys. They learned that you could play the keys. You play keys on Reason's album, I believe, too.
I did. Shout out to Reason and TDE. I definitely did that. And that was another way how I just got my foot in the door was, instead of always asking people, oh, can you do a record with me, or can I sing on this? How can I assist you? Can I help you write something? Can I add some keys or some strings to whatever you're working on? So instead of it always being about me, let me see how I can help you.
Here's a question: what do you think makes you a great songwriter in R&B?
Um, I think because I'm just honest. I don't really think too much. I feel like sometimes writers they want to write a specific melody and a specific rhyme, and is this a hit record? And it's like a formula, and I don't
Yeah.
really have a formula. I just kind of write whatever I'm feeling, and however it sounds is how it sounds. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
Mhm. And getting into more of your music history here, you actually could play multiple instruments. The violin was one, which I was surprised to learn about.
Yeah, I've been playing violin since I was 3. That's kind of what I was doing before piano, and then I graduated to viola, which is similar to the violin. I actually played viola at Cal State Northridge in the symphony orchestra in college, and I was gonna do the like Philharmonic, but then I was like, yeah, I think I want to do R&B. But yeah, I was playing viola. I can play guitar. I was playing drums. I was in drum line in high school. We have this thing in Sacramento called the Sacramento State Fair. So I used to be on my snares and really in the drum line.
Have
But
you ever
yeah,
thought about doing a live album in which you're playing the instruments and then you sing?
I'm working on that. But right
Yeah.
now, speak as we speak, working on that right now.
Crazy. It's I'm glad I brought that up because now your fans know.
Yeah,
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 that's rare. You don't see people doing live albums unless you watch Tiny Desk concerts.
right. Yeah, they're so dope. I love watching those. Those are like so musical. People aren't doing like musical things as much anymore. So I'm
No.
definitely trying to bring that back.
A question that I have for you is, and I've talked to multiple R&B artists and R&B hosts that have this view on R&B because it's just not the same as it was in the 90s and with the raw vocals. Do you think it's because that they're taking these classes out of schools?
Um, mm, I think it could be part of that reason, but I think it also has to do with, does the person even have an interest in really learning the music? Because there's people that just have this talent where they don't even need to learn how to read music. They can just play
Yeah.
So I think it's just kind of up to the individual because some people are just blessed with that talent, and then some people like myself, went to school and actually read music and had to learn it.
And that's what's going to make you stand out in this day and age is that you took it the hard way. It's the hard path.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely think about that.
Because everyone just hops on a track and they use auto tune. They expect to go somewhere, and it's crazy because you look on social media and everyone wants to be a rapper. And I think that even you taking the R&B path is so rare because not everyone can be a singer.
Right, absolutely. And R&B is kind of like a slower race. Like rap, not saying that it's not a hard thing to do, but it's a lot more rappers now than there is singers.
Yeah, it's too oversaturated with rappers. There needs to be more singers out there. I
Yeah.
know growing up that you idolized Mary J. Blige and Aaliyah. Have
Mhm.
you heard the news of Aaliyah is actually her full discography is going to be on Apple Music and all platforms soon?
Yeah, I can't wait because I'm tired of trying to type it in on YouTube and I can't download it to my phone, and I can't wait. So I'm super excited. Rest in peace to Aaliyah too. Like,
Yeah. Which album are you looking forward to hearing most once it drops?
um,
From Aaliyah, that is.
hmm, I can't even say it. Honestly, all of it.
Yeah.
Honestly, because it's just like her voice is just so like angelic. I could literally just listen to her all day. Like for real, I love her.
Yeah.
Love her.
She brought a style that no one else had. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
I definitely look at her and be like, okay, let me see how I can try to be like that. As a little girl, I definitely wanted to be Leah.
Aaliyah and Sade, to me, are the two best R&B female R&B singers in the '90s.
I love Sade too.
Yeah.
Love her. I've had people tell me I look like her, so I think that's pretty cool. I
No,
don't really think,
Sade's got some great ones though.
yeah, no, I love Sade. She another angelic voice. Like it's like they're not even singing. It's just so like natural for them. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. Cherish the Day, Sweetest Taboo,
Hmm.
iconic
For sure.
tracks.
For
Has there
sure.
been any talks for you in signing a major deal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I talk about it too much, but y'all can see in a second,
Yeah.
sooner than later.
Sooner than later. Congratulations on that. Now, I know you can't give the details exactly, but I do want to hit the pinpoints. Where is it located? Where is this record label located?
In the United States.
Well, where a little bit more? LA, New York, anywhere?
LA.
Atlanta,
LA.
LA.
Hmm.
Congratulations on that.
Thank
Mhm.
you.
And speaking of other talent, you've taken part in some short films. You were on some TV shows on CBS.
I actually wasn't on it. I was playing violin. I was in the music.
Oh,
So
okay, so you're
they
on the music
called,
side of it.
yeah, I was on the music side of it. So they called me in on CBS. I believe it's called Zoo. And I was playing violin in the background. So if you ever watch that show, you can hear me.
Have you thought about getting into acting? Since I just brought it up anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, I was acting as a kid, so I've been in like plays back home and like stuff like that. And yeah, I definitely do want to get back into acting though. That's definitely one of my goals for this upcoming chapter.
What type of character would you like to play?
Um, Something challenging. I don't know. Probably like something that's not like me. I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I definitely want to act though.
You definitely want to act. Do you have a
Yeah,
talent agent?
I don't.
You don't? I think that's the best way because I know I've talked to a lot of artists who say they want to get into acting. I think the best way is to seek out a talent agent because then they get the work for you as far as acting goes.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
no,
that
I
could work
definitely.
out because you could play a singer on some show or even a movie.
Right, right. I could do that, or I don't even know what I would do, but I want to do it. And I'm half Indian, So like one of my main like goals is to like be in, what Bollywood is. I want to be in, like a
That,
Bollywood
that's I
film.
heard that that's one of your goals. You want to be in a Bollywood film someday.
Oh, I really do. So hopefully that
Yeah,
happens.
we gotta see that if that happens. It will. It'll come in time.
Yes, it will. Manifestation. It's
Yeah.
going to.
Who are some artists that you really want to work with? I want to cover first the legends. You got to get the legends down first. We always got to give respect to the legends. Who are some legendary R&B singers or even rappers that you would collaborate with? Because you do collaborate with rappers.
Right. I really want to work with Mary J. Blige.
Mm.
Um, Alicia Keys was like a must. Gotta work with her. Um, Erica Badu. Trying to think. Maxwell. If he's, yeah, I would love to work with Maxwell too. I feel like we could just. I really want to work with all the musical people from the '90s for real.
Mm. D'Angelo is real musical too.
Oh yeah, I would work with D'Angelo too. He's dope for sure.
Now that we touched on the R&B singers, how about the rappers?
I wish Tupac was still here because I would
Tupac.
have loved to do something with Tupac. That would be so hard. Um, hmm, rappers from the '90s. I'm trying to think. It's not coming to me on the top of my head.
We can move into the 2000s too. I think a great track that you would do is with the game.
Oh yeah, the game would be dope. I think Ja Rule is dope. I
Ja
just love.
Rule. That's rare because there's so many people out here that take the side of 50 Cent. That's so rare. Ja Rule is underrated.
Yeah, Ja Rule underrated. He has some records. I love 50 Cent too. I would definitely do something with 50 Cent. But yeah,
If you
for
think about those
sure.
classic tracks with Ja Rule, he was really putting those hip hop R&B tracks together. I'm
I love
Real,
Ja Rule. He collaborated with a lot of singers in.
Jennifer Lopez, Ashanti,
Oh yeah, Ashanti. I would definitely do something with Ashanti. Love her.
classic. Nelly,
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say Nelly. Love
yeah,
Nelly.
because they just came to mind because he had one of the biggest R&B hip hop songs of probably of all time, not just the 2000s with Dilemma with Kelly Rowland.
hmm He did. He definitely did.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Hmm. I will work with everybody.
You work with
I,
every.
I love everybody. I'm just such a fan of music. Like I can't even like pinpoint just names. Like I listen to everything.
What's the genre outside of hip hop and R&B that you're a huge fan of that you listen to from time to time?
Mm,
I know jazz, but I know jazz is something
yeah,
that you're involved with. A classically trained jazz musician I've learned online.
yeah, I'm classically trained, honestly, but I did dibble and dabble in some jazz. But yeah, sometimes I do listen to classical and jazz music when I want to just, have a calm night. I'll turn it on. And a lot of like the chords I might use in my records come from like listening to jazz.
Yeah, it's. I think that's what you can notice it in your music too. Is you implement jazz samples in there. Not everyone does that nowadays. Everyone just let's put the trap drums on, and I think
hmm
that's something that's different in which you experiment with, and you're not afraid to. How come you feel as though there's not more artists like you that aren't afraid to just experiment and create their own sound? There's no individuality in music as a whole anymore. I feel like.
Probably because it's not a popular thing to do. So people are gonna do, what's popular. People are more likely to be like, okay, well, we see this working, so I'm gonna do this. People are kind of scared to be different. I feel like it's a hard
Well, you would
environment.
survive in the '90s. Just know that these artists out here, I don't know if they would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like everybody has their own sound, their own lane, and there's enough room for everybody. Some people might be grouped in a lane with other people, so that's why I'm trying to separate myself and make my own lane.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do. You'll have your own lane. Any upcoming performances for the new project, Overthinking?
Yeah, I'm trying to, get it together right now. It's just been crazy with COVID and, locations and venues, but we try to get it together right now.
Where's the first place that you want to perform when you have the opportunity to?
Probably Sac, or no, I probably say Sacramento for like the last, but the first place probably LA because I'm already here.
LA. They can put you on Rolling Loud in LA.
I know, but Rolling Loud has been filled with rappers. They haven't. I don't even seen any singers on that lineup.
No, they don't. They don't show love the R&B singers. I don't know why. If you look at the hip hop artists that are on these lists, a lot of them don't deserve to be, and I'd be making edits to that list. But I'm not in charge of the Rolling Loud list. That's just me. But
Yeah, nah, I definitely believe there was no R&B artists on there, but it's all good.
mhm. How did you maintain during? I mean, we're still going through COVID, the Delta variant. Now this Delta Plus thing is going on. How did you maintain during the year of 2020?
Oh, I barely did.
Yeah.
um, I really was just in the crib for real. And this is kind of where the project came from, was me sitting in the crib and overthinking my entire life and not knowing what's going on. And at that point, like I wasn't really dropping music, I wasn't making music, I was just literally sitting in the crib. So sometimes I write a song, I was like, and I started writing the project and I was like, wow, I made something out of this like traumatizing time that we're in. So that's why I feel like this project is the most vulnerable I've been and the most honest I've been because like I was really going through it as we all were.
And overthinking came about, and 2020 was just such a difficult year for everybody out there, and the fact that you were able to, I think it was a reevaluation time. You had to reevaluate yourself and just think about your life, where you've came this far and where you're going. And now, how long have you been attending USC for?
I also started that during COVID.
You also so you've been
I
virtual,
applied.
just like the college
Yeah.
students around the world, like everyone else. Because there's some people that do go in certain places, but
hmm Now, because I applied, I believe last summer, last whatever. So my first semester was last fall, and yeah, I was like, well, I have nothing to do. I might as well go get my master's. Let me see if I can get into USC. So yeah, I was blessed enough to get in, and I'll be graduating this fall. So I'm definitely feeling amazing about that. That was my dream school, and out of high school, I actually didn't get in. They denied me. So this is like I don't know, like a second chance. I don't know.
no, was there any bittersweet feeling when once you actually got in the second time? It's like you couldn't have just let me in the first time.
I know. I'm like, what did I do now that y'all want me now, but y'all didn't want me then? I'm the same person, but I don't know. But it's all about timing. Is how I see it.
Mhm. And going to LA because the Sacramento, it's close. Were you ready for this move for your life? Because not everyone's ready to move on. I've heard these stories, all people that's been on my show and around the world, just saying even people from New York, they just pack up one day, they get on in a van or a car or a truck, and they just move out to LA. But I mean, you're close, but how is that changing your life? Because this is what sets the path forward for you.
Yeah. Even like in high school, I was going to LA for my birthday, and I have so much family out here, so it wasn't like a oh my gosh, I'm leaving home. I was ready to go. I was like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go to LA. I'm gonna do music. I'm gonna figure it out. That was
Yeah.
always my plan. So moving here was just, it was already destined.
Mhm. I think more people should take risks like that because I think as soon as you go to LA, you're able to bump into someone and make connections right away. LA is just a connection hotspot.
So
Have you ever thought
definitely,
about going out to New York?
yeah, I went to New York once. It's a little far. That if I would have moved over there, yeah, I probably would have been scared because that's like I don't know nobody over there. At least out here, I have family.
Yeah, and it's cold in New York too.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah, not a cold weather
I
person.
love
And trust me, what you're the subway systems here are yeah, no. I hate the subway, so
yeah. I love New York people though. Like I always get along with New York people, and like they're just so like down to earth and cool, and I love their accents.
yeah,
Wish I had an accent.
New York is one of a kind, but California is a place to be. It's the land of opportunity, especially LA. As I said before,
Mhm.
before the Zoom went down here, that as soon as you go out there, you're able to make all these connections, and that's what you did as soon as you had the internship.
Right. Exactly.
Mhm.
Who would have thought an internship would have, gave me all these connections because I had no clue when I started interning. I was like, ugh, I'm an intern, but it's like
Yeah.
I made a lot of connections that I still use today. You know.
Mhm. Overthinking is available on all platforms. I'm sure that you're working on an album, and which you mentioned the live album before. I'm sure that you're working on an album that now is a live album going to be separate from what you release. Is that going to be the next album you think, or is it just that's probably going to be something that's after it?
Um, So the live project, it's just, it's gonna be still part of the overthinking. But the next project I'm working on, we gonna come a little different. That's all I can say. We're gonna come a little different.
And that's the way to do it. Now, with this album, are you going to document yourself behind the scenes? Because I know there's certain artists in the game. I know Dave East did it with Survival. He did a mini documentary series, a couple parts about his life growing up and where he grew up in Harlem. Have you thought about doing that, where people get a backstory about you and the orchestras and growing up in Sacramento and you moved to LA and evolving to where you are now?
Yeah, I definitely have thought about it and something I'm definitely looking into right now.
Mm-hmm. You have a lot of things planned. What's your major goal to close out the year here for 2021?
Um, to just put out more music and just give people what they need to hear. Try to give them all you need.
Mm-hmm. Give them all, and that's your acronym.
Yeah, that's the acronym for my name that I created, which is crazy because it's literally my name. But yeah.
Yeah. And not everyone can do that. It's rare. Not everyone has that potential. But I want to thank you for coming on the show. And I enjoyed speaking with you. I enjoyed listening to the project that you just dropped, Overthinking, Temporary Feelings, the best one on the project. 100%. Is there anything else you'd love to let the audience know? And please be sure to make sure that you tell them where they can follow you on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody that's listening, and I appreciate all the love. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at ALL.YN, Twitter, Allyn_music. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I appreciate your time.
Mm-hmm. Of course, and I'm looking forward to everything that you have coming up as far as your future releases. The live album, I'm peaked to really hear, because that's something rare in this day and age, and I think this will
Yeah.
be competing with Tiny Desk.
Right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we need to set the trend to bring back instruments and music, and you're doing that. But anytime, you're always welcome on the show. When you do drop this new live album, I'd love to have you back on and talk about it and promote it.
Good. Thank you so much.
No doubt. I want you to enjoy the rest of your night and take care and stay safe. All right.
You too. Stay safe.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.